I was tightening the last bolt on her car engine when she called her mom on FaceTime. I wasn't really paying attention at first, just focused on making sure everything was done right. But then I heard her laugh softly and say, "Don't worry, Mom. I'm just having fun with him. I'd never actually marry a mechanic." My heart froze right there under the hood. She didn't know I was standing just a few feet behind her, wiping grease off my hands and thinking about how I was going to surprise her with dinner later. We'd been dating for 8 months, and I really thought we were building something real. Hearing those words felt like someone punched me straight in the chest. I didn't say anything. I just quietly packed my tools, grabbed my bag, and walked out before she could notice the tears forming in my eyes. That night, I turned off my phone and lay awake wondering how long she'd been pretending. The next morning, her mom called me. She sounded worried and asked why I wasn't coming to Sunday dinner anymore. I didn't know what to say to her. Should I tell her what her daughter really thinks of me? Or should I just disappear and save myself the pain of explaining it all? My chest felt tight every time I remembered her voice saying those words, casual and heartless, like I was nothing but a phase she'd soon outgrow. But what happened after that call from her mom left me completely stunned. I thought I was the one hurting the most, but the truth is, none of us saw what was coming next. I sat there staring at my phone for hours after her mom called. Memories kept flashing in my mind, the way she used to hold my hand when we walked to the little bakery near her place, how she'd sit on the floor of my small garage workshop, sipping iced coffee while watching me fix engines, saying she loved the smell of grease and oil because it reminded her of me. It all felt so real back then. I started wondering if every smile she gave me was fake, or if I was just too blind to see the truth behind her eyes. Her mom left me a voicemail later that day saying, "She misses you, you know. She's been crying since yesterday. Please come over for dinner. We can sort whatever this is out." I could hear genuine concern in her voice, and it only made my chest ache more. Did her mom even know what her daughter really thought about me? Or was she just as fooled as I was? Part of me wanted to call her back and tell her everything, but another part felt too broken to speak. That evening, I drove to the park near my workshop and sat there in my pickup truck, staring at the sunset while thinking about my life choices. I thought about my dad, who spent 40 years fixing cars just like I do now, and how proud he'd be to see me running my own small garage. I remembered his words. "Son, never let anyone make you feel small because of what you do with your hands." But in that moment, I felt so small that even breathing felt heavy. Then my phone buzzed again. It was her. But what she texted me next, I never expected it at all. Her message said, "Can we talk? Please." I didn't mean it the way it sounded. I stared at those words for a long time, feeling my fingers tremble around my phone. How else could she have meant it? It was clear as day. I thought about ignoring her, but curiosity and pain mixed together in my chest, and I needed answers. I typed back, "What is there to talk about?" But before I could hit send, another text popped up. "I swear I was just trying to calm my mom down. She's always judging who I date, and I didn't want to argue with her again." I didn't know if that made it better or worse. Was I really just someone she defended out of convenience while secretly feeling embarrassed of me? I put my phone down and rested my head on the steering wheel, breathing hard. At that moment, my assistant, Omar, called me. He asked if I was coming back to the garage to check on the customer cars before closing. I almost forgot about work completely. I told him to lock up without me and that I'd come early tomorrow to finish everything. Driving home felt empty. My apartment was dark when I walked in. I tossed my keys on the counter and sat on the old sofa, thinking about all the times she'd teased me about having old man furniture, and how we planned to buy a new couch together soon. My chest burned with the thought that maybe she never saw that future with me. Later that night, Omar texted me too. He said he saw her car parked outside my garage after closing. "Bro, she was just sitting there crying," he wrote. I didn't know what to feel. Was it guilt, anger, or just deep sadness swallowing me whole? The next morning, I woke up with my phone buzzing nonstop. Missed calls from her. Voicemails I didn't want to hear. I dragged myself out of bed, washed my face, and went straight to the garage. Omar was already there, wiping down the tools. He looked at me with worried eyes and said, "She came again this morning. She was waiting outside in her car, but she left when she saw me unlocking the shop." All day, I tried to focus on my work, but my hands felt heavy and my mind kept drifting back to her. Around noon, I saw her car pull up across the street. She just sat there, staring at the garage. My heart pounded in my chest so loud I thought Omar might hear it. Part of me wanted to march over and yell at her for making me feel like trash, but another part just felt tired, so tired of everything. Suddenly, my phone buzzed again. It was her mom. This time, she sounded upset. "Please come to the house. She's been crying all night. I don't know what happened between you two, but she's not eating or sleeping." Her voice cracked, and my chest tightened even more. I looked out at her car across the street and saw her resting her head on the steering wheel, her shoulders shaking. Seeing her like that made my heart twist with pain and confusion. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. But deep down, I knew something was about to break, either her heart, mine, or both, and nothing would be the same after today. I stood there in the garage, feeling my throat tighten as I watched her from across the street. Just then, Omar came up behind me and said, "Bro, there's something you should know." I turned to him, confused. He pulled out his phone and showed me a screenshot from her social media. It was a post from a week ago. She had uploaded a picture of us together, both smiling with grease on our faces after working on her car. The caption read, "He's my forever, even if Mom doesn't approve." My chest tightened. The post had hundreds of likes and comments from her friends saying how cute we were together. But then I noticed another post she made just 2 days ago. It was just a black screen with the words, "Sometimes you say the worst things to protect the best people." My head started spinning with confusion. Was she really just trying to protect me from her mom's judgment? Or was this just another way to twist my feelings around so I'd come crawling back? Before I could even process it, Omar said quietly, "Also, her mom just came by. She was looking for you. She left this." He handed me a small white envelope. My name was written on the front in her mom's neat handwriting. My hands shook as I opened it, and what I read inside made my knees feel weak. It wasn't just about her or me anymore. There was something much bigger happening behind all this, something that could change everything in our lives forever. My hands trembled as I pulled out the letter from the envelope. It was short, but every word felt heavy. She didn't mean what she said. She's been hiding something from you because she was scared. Please come talk to her. She needs you now more than ever. I stared at the paper, my mind racing. What could she possibly be hiding that would make her say something so cruel just to cover it up? Without thinking, I wiped my greasy hands on my overalls, grabbed my keys, and walked out. Omar called after me, asking if I was okay, but I couldn't answer him. My chest felt like it was going to explode with all the pain and confusion. When I reached her house, I saw her mom waiting outside. Her eyes were red from crying, but she managed a small, sad smile when she saw me. "She's inside," she whispered, opening the door for me. I walked in and saw her sitting on the couch, hugging her knees to her chest, her eyes swollen and her hair tied up messily. When she saw me, tears started falling down her cheeks again. "I'm so sorry," she whispered in a broken voice. I didn't say anything. I just stood there, waiting for her to explain. She took a deep breath and said, "I said that to my mom because she was threatening to cut me off if I stayed with you. She's always been like that. Controlling. I didn't want to lose you, but I also didn't want her to hurt you or ruin your business. I thought if I made it sound like I wasn't serious, she'd stop digging into your life." My head spun with her words. Part of me felt relieved, but another part felt betrayed that she'd choose to protect me by humiliating me. I sat down across from her, staring at the girl I thought I knew so well. "Why didn't you just tell me the truth?" I asked quietly. She sobbed harder and shook her head. Because I'm pregnant. And I didn't want her to take that away from me too. My entire world stopped at her words. Pregnant? I didn't know what to say or feel. My heart ached with anger, confusion, love, and fear all at once. I reached out and held her shaking hands. For a moment, everything felt silent between us, like time itself had paused. But just as I was about to speak, her mom walked back in and said something that sent chills down my spine. She's not the only one you need to worry about. Her father knows too, and he's already hired a lawyer to make sure you never see that baby. In that moment, I realized the real battle had only just begun. Inside the envelope was a handwritten letter from her mom. She wrote about how proud she was that her daughter had someone like me in her life. She said that ever since her husband left years ago, she'd been scared of her daughter falling for a man who might abandon her too. That's why she always questioned who she dated, especially me, because she thought mechanics moved around for work and didn't settle down. But then she wrote, "Yesterday she told me she wants to marry you, but she's scared you don't think she's good enough to be part of your hardworking world. Please don't leave without talking to her." I felt my chest tighten as tears welled up in my eyes. I never thought she felt insecure about my world. I always believed she was the one out of my league. My hands were shaking when I looked up and saw her still sitting in her car. Without thinking, I walked across the street. When she saw me coming, she quickly wiped her tears and stepped out. Her voice trembled as she said, "I'm so sorry. I was trying to calm Mom down. I shouldn't have said that. I didn't mean any of it. I love you. Please don't leave me." For a moment, I just stood there, staring at her tear-stained face. All the pain I felt came crashing down and melted away at the same time. I took a deep breath and pulled her into my arms. She sobbed against my chest, clutching my shirt like she never wanted to let go. I whispered softly, "I thought you were embarrassed of me." She pulled back and looked into my eyes, shaking her head quickly. "No. I'm proud of you. You're the most honest and hardworking person I've ever known. I just didn't want Mom to judge you or make you feel small." We stood there for a long time, just holding each other as people passed by, some glancing at us curiously. It didn't matter anymore. At that moment, I realized that love isn't about who looks better on paper or who earns more. It's about who stays when it's hard and who chooses you even when you feel unworthy. I decided to forgive her words because her actions showed me the truth of her heart. Later that evening, we went to her mom's house for dinner. When her mom saw us walk in hand, she smiled with tears in her eyes. And for the first time in days, I felt light again, knowing that sometimes love needs a little breaking before it finally becomes unbreakable.